How is everybody doing? This is episode 34 of Sit Down with Sniper, and we got someone who is amazing in this space, amazing in the real world, and he goes by Mike Mongo. How are you doing, brother?
What do you mean I go by Mike Mongo? You go by Sniper. My name is Mike Mongo. Ladies and gentlemen, Mike Mongo. Pow.
Pow. I know that is you. So, I mean, look, this is... While looking into you, man, I've learned some great things about you. So not only are you an amazing artist, but you are an author of an amazing book called The Astronaut Instruction Manual, which I believe is a children's book or for preteens. You're VP of, and I hope I pronounce this right.
No, slow down. I hear what you're doing. You're reading my bio off of the internet.
I've took little pieces.
Nice try.
Pieces and parts.
No.
Is that not it?
VP, no.
Not it.
Yeah. No, I can tell you anything you need to know. So let's get into this, Sniper. Bring it. Okay. I hear you talking to your other guests. I listened to Josh's interview, and yeah, you got it going on. So let's do this. What you got for me?
So you've been in Web3 for a little bit now, but what drew you here? What actually pulled you into Web3? You know, you do stuff for astronauts. You've been a teacher. I've seen you talk with people like Cian Proctor.
I'm an astronaut.
You're an astronaut. I mean, you're all kind of things.
Dr. Cian Proctor.
And not only that,
Cian rhymes with Diane.
And not only that, Dr. Cian Proctor is also the first Black woman to pilot a spacecraft. I am not going to leave that out. Very, very big accomplishment, and we're very proud of her. Everyone should be. But what drew you over here, man?
All right, so,
I got to know what drew you into NFTs.
In when I'm answering and when you're asking. So I just want to acknowledge that, just so in case anybody's listening and they're wondering what the stutter is. Second is that I am always at the forefront of whatever is interesting in the world. And I mean, when I say always, it's not like that's not how I self-define. I'm 57, so I've been doing this for decades now. And I was there when hip hop started. I was there when .com started, when the internet started. I was there when crypto started. Like at some point, you got to say, okay, so I'm always right there at the right time. It's that Bugs Bunny luck of mine. Pow. So
the Bugs Bunny luck.
Live it. My voice, by the way, the Space Plus 5 just got back from Paris yesterday, and it was unbelievable, Sniper. It was amazing at the International Astronautical Congress, IAC. It's my first International Astronautical Congress, though it goes on every year, all different locations in the world. I had never been an astronaut before. So they debuted our commercial crew to the rest of the astronaut community at the International Astronautical Congress. The thing is that I got to be an astronaut because of Web3. Like in all of these, this Sniper, you're like half my age, all right? So you keep on doing what you're doing, like this right here, and suddenly you're me giving us the exact same interview, and in the future, who knows what you'll be doing? Time traveling, going through dimensions. I don't know. Whatever's available to us. So and so that's how it happens.
So now that you're here, I know you just had that. Is this the same thing as I saw you had Yuri's Night? Is this the same thing as that, or is that another party that was recent?
So Yuri's Night is staged at the IAC every year. However, the main Yuri's Night party happens every year, April 12th, or on or around April 12th, in celebration of Yuri Gagarin being the first human being in space. Well, in celebration of humans going to space, Yuri Gagarin happened to be the first person, and we honor their contribution to our space future. Now, I am co-founder of, not Yuri's Night, Loretta Whitesides, who is the founder of Yuri's Night, was at the party. She flew out for this party. It was that good. And I'm the co-founder of the version here on this coast at Cape Canaveral, where I live, at the Kennedy Space Center. So every year with Ryan Robertson from Space Florida, we throw a party underneath the Space Shuttle Atlantis with lasers and stormtroopers and Ewoks and robots and astronauts, and it is amazing. And I've always been about computers and art and space. And because of that, it just gravitated to Web3. What has become Web3? You can't have a passion for those things without being involved in Web3 right now. Web3 is what we're bringing. We're bringing digital assets to space. We're bringing art to space with Web3. The currency we'll be using in Space Sniper is going to be Web3. We're not bringing nickels and quarters and $50 or even dollar bills to space. We're bringing crypto, yo. Pow, pow, pow.
Now, people always say, "Yo, I'm bridging the gap between Web 2 and Web 3." Yo, I'm bridging the gap. Are
I'm not
you
bridging the gap. I'm not.
Are
no.
you bridging the gap between Web 3 and space?
I'm not. There's not a gap between Web 3 and space. That's a great question. That's people who are inadequate with metaphors, Sniper. That's people who don't have a background in hip hop or history. You remember me in history, not a memory or a mystery. Space and crypto, that's where I live. Those are the Web3 is basically the evolution of humankind into commerce. We evolved, and so our commerce has evolved. We evolved as human beings, and so our commerce has evolved, of course. And all of these things don't happen at the wrong time. They happen at the right time when we need things like this to take place, to humanifest, so that we can have a world in the future that's worth having. All of this look, it's amazing that all of this is coming about right when we're going through a climate crisis. Climate cataclysm is a better way to put it. And how many people have you ever heard anybody say that Bitcoin or crypto is responsible for a climate crisis, when we've had I go down the street here in Cape Canaveral and I've got police cars running 24/7, 365. They never turn off the engine. The lights in the bank are on every single night. Believe that. And the banking industry, that industry and the military industrial complex has been running for thousands of years. And yet it's crypto and Bitcoin that is to blame for where we are today in the future. Okay, sure. How? And these are actually things that show us the way forward, that allow us to succeed.
So Mike, I mean, there's so many things I'm going to jump into, and
bring it.
Whenever and I think something that, I mean, it kind of caught me by surprise. I'm not going to lie to you. You co-founded Obey, and that's
co-founded
not even
Obey.
So that's not to read off the long list of the things that I saw on the internet, but that was something that I felt was a very big point because of who Shepard Fairey is, and I hope I'm pronouncing his name correctly.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay, so but Web3, people be like, "Oh yeah, I'm here for the art. I'm here for the art." You've really been in the movement. You've really been about pushing messages and pushing forward what y'all had with Obey. Can you speak on working alongside? I believe his name was Alfred Hawkins,
Blaze Bluen,
Shepard, and the others that you co-founded with?
So Shepard and Ryan Lesser are the ones who came up with the original Obey image, which was called Andre the Giant Has a Posse. Some people know that, some people don't. This is 1988. And then a couple years passed, they were doing it at RISD. I got connected with Shepard because I was at the College of Charleston for a time before I went to Berkeley. And Shepard's from Charleston, and we had a mutual friend, Alfred Hawkins, who went up to work with Shepard and another friend of ours, Blaze Bluen, rest in peace, who's the underground skateboarder. They went up with Shepard. He had a half pipe or a quarter pipe up at a silk screen shop in Rhode Island. They did Andre the Giant Has a Posse for a while. It was an art project that got started at RISD, and Shepard fixated on it for whatever reason. Okay, this is before I got there. However, because we had mutual friends, around 92, I got introduced to Obey because the stickers, well, it wasn't called Obey at the time, but there were Obey Giant stickers and art that was being developed by then. And I started to see the stickers. It sprung out of nowhere and grabbed me by the eyeballs at one point. And that's how it did the thing that it's meant to do. And we had mutual friends. Our friend Doug introduced me and Shepard and Alfred were friends. And Alfred Hawkins in Charleston, South Carolina is a legend. Like, you just don't even know. Like, we all know Shepard Fairey, and Shepard Fairey, of course, is historic and legendary, particularly in his home of Charleston, South Carolina. However, there's a really sweet art community there, and Alfred Hawkins, like, this is in the early 90s. He's a skateboarder. Shepard skate, I skate, Blaze skated, and this is one of the things that connected us, and also art and just a generally subversive young adults who wanted to do graffiti art and have fun. And so we did that, and working along Shepard, it was great. He is inspiring to me to this day, of course, because he isn't like anybody else. That's all there is to it. And I've had the opportunity to work alongside people by the grace of good. So many fantastic artists are peers of mine, and we get to do art all the time. And that this is, I would just like to say that I'm modeling what is possible for everyone. I was having a conversation with Jessica Utrowski today, and what I model is I'm never working to convince anyone that NFTs are great, or I didn't work to convince people that graffiti was awesome. I just did it, and I do NFTs, and when I do work to enroll people into how amazing graffiti art is, how amazing Andre the Giant has a posse, which became Obey, is Obey, Hope for Barack Obama, all of this, how it just goes on, and it turns into NFTs. And I just keep doing it. And some people see it. You saw it, like friends. And we just work around each other and inspire one another. That's the game. Last year, so many people dropped into NFTs. They saw the abundance that was there, and they saw everybody making money. So they just like, I want to do this. And many people had a passion for art and creation and hadn't fulfilled that. And they jumped in. And then when the market took a downturn, we're in that bear market right now, everybody disappeared and they let go of it. That's not what I'm modeling. I'm modeling doing the things we love with who we love and helping others. So doing art with other people who do art and love doing art, and making the world we want to see, generating the feedback we want from the world, behaving in a way and participating and contributing in a way that gets the feedback that says, hey, you're doing a great job. Like, that is what I model. And again, I can't convince anybody, hopefully, by having these kind of conversations, Sniper, and by producing and creating in the way that I do, in the way that Shepard does, in the ways that Doze Green does, in the way that Jesse Utrowski does, in the way that Tony Payne does, like people that are Micah Ray, people that really give our hearts and souls to it, even when it's hard, even when the times are terrible, that we have one another and we keep on going through it. We don't run or quit because the times are bad, because sometimes life is good and sometimes life is bad. And we just keep doing it. Shepard kept on doing it all the way through, even when we were struggling. I mean, we struggled. There was always times where we're working to scrape up money to make things happen and figure out how to make $1 out of 15 cents. And then I want to jump forward a little bit, like right to around 2000, when Shepard got together with an artist named Amanda Truelove. They got married, and she took Obey to the next level. Even though Shepard had been doing it since '88, and then I got in 92, and Blaze and Alfred were there, and we all did it all the way through. It wasn't until Amanda came in, and she contributed her special spice. Like she has a vision for Obey that enabled it to get to the place where Obey got to do the Hope poster for Barack Obama. That's like, there's a lot of work that was involved before that. Like, there's all the groundwork and all of us going around the planet and carrying stickers and wheat paste in the strangest place on earth and building the foundation and creating the community. And that this gets to be a model for how we can succeed with NFTs. You don't stop just because it's hard, and you don't quit just because there's a downturn. Otherwise, you're not doing the right thing. You're not doing, because there's no way I can quit, Sniper. This is who I am, and this is what I love. That's what I'm modeling, my folks.
I respect that. I respect that 100%. And that's why I wanted to get you on here. I mean, I totally scrapped everything basically that I wrote down from the beginning, because I felt like I could have a genuine
Let's
conversation.
Get genuine here.
Yeah. I felt like we could have a genuine conversation, and I can say that genuinely on everything that I did read while trying to learn more about who you were, every single one of them spoke about first, how
Who
you,
I am.
of who you are and how you always gave back first. You know, I believe you said you were in your 50s. You could have used so many excuses on why you couldn't do this, why you couldn't go to Paris, why you couldn't still be in NFTs, go to New York. And we're going to talk about how you was at the 40/40 club in New York having fun during NFT NYC. Like you enjoy yourself, and that's one thing that I greatly respect about you, but you're very humble. At no point do you ever brag or boast about what you've done, because anywhere that I've looked, I can't tell you anywhere that I think Obey.
No, Sniper, I'm awesome. I want you to know I'm awesome. Just like you.
And
it takes one to know one.
I appreciate that greatly. And it means a lot that you would even come on here, because, you know, I was looking through all your achievements and I was like, wow, this is a very accomplished gentleman. And I'm definitely honored to speak with you. So we're going to jump in to the next part, man. And, you know, you did go to NFT NYC and you've done a lot for people that are in this space. So can we talk about any collections that you have? Why was Mike Mongo at the 40/40 club? And it's so funny because you're so into the culture too. You understand people that are my age, older, younger, they should definitely understand what Obey means to streetwear, to positive messaging, to art, what Shepherd means to art. So what are you doing firstly? What was you doing in NFT NYC, and what was your project that you were working with?
My first NFT project is 2018's Crypto Titties, which is the 30th project on the Ethereum blockchain. And Crypto Titties was a joke originally on Crypto Kitties. It was just a gag in a way. However, while we were doing the project, me, Hamagendron, and Roger Sampaio, Ami, the artist, in this case, he did the artwork. His mom got breast cancer right when we were doing Crypto Titties. Like, this is impossible mentally. And we were working on it. He had brought me down to Key West to spend time working on this with him for a month and explain what was called crypto collectibles, and explain all the applications of cryptocurrency, everything, the blockchain, the whole thing. There's the way that he had a vision. He still has a vision. He has a vision that is, Ami Gendron is ahead of everybody else. People don't know. And people don't even know his name. And he's got some stuff coming out right now that's going to blow people's mind. And the reason is because now he's successful as a designer and as a creator, and also as a builder on the Ethereum blockchain. Being there that early enabled us to pave the way for others. So our project, Crypto Titties, changed because Ami's mom got breast cancer, and she's great. She's healthy, and she's super good right now. And she's just been good ever since. And we decided to allocate funds, 25% of sales, to breast cancer care initiatives. Now, the thing is that nothing really took off with NFTs and any of the stuff. So it was no significant sum of money, to tell you the truth. But like it was just a learning experience, Sniper. So like we learned and we did it, and then we moved on. It was 2018, like I said. Now here's a funny thing that happened. It's the future. So last year we're just doing our own thing, and NFTs are starting to pick up. It's 2022 now, so this is 2021 then, and just like a year and a half ago. So I just got into NFTs and crypto, just like I dove into it head first. I had the time. I was back from Los Angeles. I'd just been working on the television series for my book, The Astronaut Instruction Manual, as a producer, and I had a great year just chilling in a Hollywood compound, basically, other artists, and a big pool where we were locked down during COVID. It was the most unbelievable, amazing, wonderful experience for such a terrible time, just to be matter of fact. I was finished with that, and I was just doing whatever I wanted to do. And I started to pay attention to Clubhouse, like the rest of us, and heard these things. And I was really into the space Clubhouse, to tell you the truth, and Alder Riley and his big leap, small steps, big leaps rooms. And then I saw that this crazy event was taking place at an NFTs tips room led by this guy Alexander Mazai, and they were buying a Banksy piece and setting it on fire. They were buying a legitimate hard goods Banksy print that goes for $100,000 and setting it on fire, 100,000 USD. And I was witness to this thing taking place live on via Clubhouse, like all of us were, because we were all in lockdown. So everybody who was into art and weirdness was there. And then I was in the room hearing this thing unfold, and I knew that this is big. And I messaged Alexander. He and I did not know each other at all. And I explained who I am, what I do, and why this matters. And it was only him and Burt Banksy on stage, and he brought me up on stage. And I got to explain and share with that entire massive Clubhouse room what we were all privy to and witness to. And there's been art created from that moment. There's been, people will remember that moment for the rest of our lives. That was when NFTs catalyzed for any number of us. Because what Burt Banksy did was he transferred the value of the piece into an NFT. He didn't simply destroy a Banksy piece. And the piece that he bought and set on fire it's ridiculously significant. And it was that moment, Sniper, with that piece. Like, I don't, if you don't, like, let me look it up. Let me see, Banksy. I forgot the name of it. That name of that piece, and it was.
I'm a big Banksy fan myself,
So that particular piece was the one where they're all in like an art house, bidding on a piece that's in front of them. That is, I found it. BBC's got a report on it. I'm looking at it right now. What the name of it was? It is called. Oh, it's Morons. It depicts a Christie's auctioneer pointed at framed paintings in a crowded auction house. And next to him is a framed image accompanied by the phrase, including the words, "I can't believe you morons actually bought this." And that was the piece. That was the piece that he did. That was that's what, where is this thing right here? Okay, cool. That was the piece that Burt Banksy bought, the print. Now that print series, by the way, Sniper, there's 500 of them. There are 500 of this one Burt Banksy piece, a print series of 500, and they buy one, and then they transfer the value into an NFT. And not only were we all there, and it was fantastic, but we were there 7 days later when Burt Banksy sold the piece for over 300,000 USD. He bought it for 100,000 USD, and he sold it for over 300,000 USD in ETH. It was like 327,000, something fantastic. But it made the point. And I know everybody speaks to the Beeple, the $60 million sale of the Beeple piece, and that mattered for sure. However, it was the Burt Banksy one that lit up the underground, and that's my background: underground hip hop, underground art, like crypto underground. In the beginning I was there I was at Wired magazine in that office in 94, and that was called the Multimedia Gulch. And I mean, like, this is the birth. That place was the birth. I was at the birth of hip hop, the birth of the web. It wasn't the very beginning of the internet. It was the birth of the web. And I was there, and these amazing titans were there. And just like Sniper, this moment that you and I are sharing right now, so help me goodness, you keep on doing this thing, and suddenly tomorrow you're the person that everybody is talking about. And it only has to do with pursuing what you love with who you love and helping others. That's all it takes. The absolute 100% unfailable proven formula for success. Do what you love with who you love and help others. And that is, like, I was just so sprung on the Burt Banksy piece. I just immediately glommed onto the NFT community. I was like, okay, whatever's going on here, this is good. And every day it was such a fantastic experience. When Apes came out on April 23rd, by that time, I wasn't interested in that project. I was savvy enough to know what I was into, and I saw the apes, and I was like, yeah, this is some racist or ill images like this. I don't know about this. I just vibe like that. And now here in the future, sweet, awesome, like that worked out for me because that's how I mean. Like I didn't change my mind. That's only increased. That's not my community. I'm apes, great. They've done a great job. Yuga Labs, great. Do your thing. Everybody should find their community, the one that sings to them. The ones I found my community. I know which communities sing to me. And now I support my own communities. And if your community, Sniper, our friends, if their community is 5 people, like my friend Jessica Yatrovsky just said to me today, sweet. She always talks about Howard Stern and Robin and how their dynamic is, how they're like work wives to one another. And that Howard Stern said if it wasn't for Robin, he wouldn't be there. That he just enjoys spending time with this person. Like that's deep. So that's what it's like spending time with Shepard Fairey doing Obey. Shepard grinds. Like Shepard wakes up and does Obey. Shepard wakes up, does his thing, gets us together, and then boom, we're in action. And then it's full on grind time until sleep. Come on. Imagine if we all did that in our lives. And that's like, if for people that weren't into that, they were into doing some slackness, Shepard's like, cool, you do you. And just like they're left at the curb because we just went for it. Let's go wheat paste. Let's go sticker. Let's climb up this pole. And so you have to be outrageous to be at that level. Everybody played at that level. We were all at that level. Nowadays, it doesn't sing to me. That's not my thing. Like 57-year-olds doing graffiti, like on the under, I don't know. It's just not necessarily pretty. It's not my MO any longer. Particularly since now I'm an astronaut. Hey, but Sniper, just for the real. I mean, like you can call me Mike, sir. Me and you, okay? I appreciate it. Never underestimate what we're possible, what we're capable of, and what we're possible. So, just if something sings to you as art and whatever, if you're 57 and graffiti sings to you, tag that spaceship, do that thing, be arrested, accept it, grab it. I go to bed every night. I tell people, and you've probably heard me say this, I pray every night that somebody steals my work. Stupid. Like I'm making babies all over the place. Somebody wants to adopt one, run with it. Make me famous. Do your thing. I'm not a one idea person. I had my one idea when I was 3. That's the first time I remember ideas. I want to be a superhero. I remember thinking that when I was 3. Clear. Batman's on TV. That's a superhero. That's what I want to be. Then the grown-up said, that's not a real thing. That's a sentence a grown-up said to me. I'm watching Batman on TV. It looks like a real thing to me. And so the next year, when I was 4, we landed on the moon, us human beings. And I saw a grown adult person walk on the moon. And I said, is astronaut a real thing? And the grown-ups said yes. And I said, okay, that's what I want to be then. Because if I can't be a superhero because it's not a real thing, I'll be an astronaut. And then it wasn't until I was 42, jump forward all of those years after doing graffiti, after doing military, after doing over a decade of university, after traveling the world, backpacking across the United States 3 times through Mexico, just to see, writing video games, working with EA Sports, doing the thing because I wanted to. Then I got into space, 42. And at 42, in 2007, there was no space industry, Sniper. And I didn't expect to be an astronaut. But here we are 15 years later, and look how the future has unfolded. So if it is that unexpected and wild style and beautiful for me, imagine how it is for, this is a pre-internet life form right here. You were born into the internet. It's there for you. So it's like being born with like a teleporter. like we were using horses when I was a kid and you got the internet. Facts. Like,
I mean,
what year were you born?
I was born in 96.
Okay, so in 2007, the iPhone got invented. Like you were 11. You were 11 when they handed you it. Like for me, I was
Yep.
in my. We still had wire phones when I was in college. And your neural passageways form to that. Like you automatically like when I did computers in '79, out of 250 students, there was 4 of us in that class, and those other 250 students, they went into a class called typing, and so all of us are here right now in NFTs and Web3, listening to you, soaking up wisdom, facts. I'm breaking it down right now. Like Gabe Weiss says, if you're here now, you're early. And if you're here 3 years from now, you're early. Imagine hip hop in 1983. Early? LL Cool J hasn't even come out yet. Beastie Boys' main play hasn't come out yet. Run DMC's main album hasn't come out yet. 83. Early? Now jump forward to 86. Wu-Tang hasn't come out yet. Tribe Called Quest just coming out. Like this is like, that's 86. And then jump forward to 92. Wu-Tang's out. But look what's coming up on the future. Megan Thee Stallion. For real. Like things that didn't exist keep on coming up and showing up. You show up now, you're early. You're here now, you're early. And we can all make excuses why. Like, how about the people right now who are saying, oh, they wish they were there last year in NFTs? Come on. And look what Gabe Weiss did.
Absolutely right.
So when did you talk with Gabe Weiss, Sniper?
I talked to him about, I want to say 3 months ago, 4 months ago on Spaces with a friend Bombo.
So you didn't do an interview with him? Like, how long did you get to speak with him?
Oh, we spoke for about an hour. It was a interview type Spaces where we spoke on what he did in the space and who he is as an artist.
Did he talk on Stoics?
Yes, he did. His project.
Yeah. So did he speak extensively on it? You don't recall?
I don't want to tell you anything. Yeah, I don't recall.
Okay, cool. So the reason I'm asking is, did you buy into Stoics?
I did not.
Dang, man. Then somewhere or another we failed. That's the thing, is because Gabe Weiss knew he ran the entire Stoics project past me in May. And this is September now. It's about to be October. He ran the entire Stoics project past me in May. Explained the whole thing over longer than 30 minutes, and finally got to a place, and he was calling, and we were having a conversation about how I can support him or what advice I could give him or suggestions, whatever. And I got out, he finished, and I said, Gabe, there is nothing that I can add to that. That is the definition of 100%. If I did a project and it was great, it's going to look like what you just explained to me. This is 4 months ago. He had 4 months extra to work on amazing. And here we are where the project is setting records. I don't even know what the let me look and see what it's doing today. Let me just check, because it's been doing about 100 ETH a day in volume. And the reason I point this out is because if you're here now, you're early. And when somebody like Gabe Weiss succeeds, the only way for us to feel is inspired. It's not jealous. It's like, oh my gosh, this guy knows how to do it. I'm going to do that same thing, but my way. I'm going to express it as I would express it. I'm going to have that same kind of success, and I'm going to express it the way that I want to express it. Let's look and see what he's got today. He did so since yesterday. He's done 76 ETH in volume since yesterday, and it just keeps on going. And and the floor, like I saw it as at 0.19, it's at 0.3 right now. So it's an easy buy. It's that kind of thing. It's definitely a win. And that is what I want for everybody. That's it. That's the whole point of me telling you about any successes that I've had, Sniper. Being braggadocious, great. I hope it puts food in somebody's kitchen. I'm telling stories. I'm sharing my history. I'm giving a viewpoint that maybe it like with whoever listens to your show, because people find value in your show. You do a great job, by the way. I wouldn't be here if you didn't. You crush the people you're having on.
Thank you very much.
How you speak, it allows us to succeed. I recognize that. I acknowledge that, and I appreciate that. And on your show, talking about this, so much. Who knows who's listening to this? Who gets the fire? Because fire is contagious. That inspiration, that aspire within, like I can breathe fire into another person, and through a video, we can do that. We get to do that. Or somebody could be turned off and say, "I don't even like the energy. I don't want that kind of life. I just need stable, dependable, unadventurous, and I'll get through this." What kind of life is that? I don't know, but that's not for me to judge. My life is what I'm modeling. So they're modeling that life. People who quit and leave and get out, they're modeling that. And I'll tell you what, Jessica Yatrowski, we talk a lot. So she said this to me today. She said, they're just giving us extra leg room, Sniper. When people drop out, they're giving you and me extra leg room. Because we're here when it's good, we're here when it's bad, and guess where we'll be when it's good? Here. Together. Everybody is stuck in. That's the game. That's life. It's always going to be good and bad. That's no secret. Stay with it.
That's something that I've learned with this space. And I mean, I've been blessed enough to where even whenever I was injured, people were still supporting me. But I've learned that there's going to be times where you're injured. There's going to be times where a lot of people are listening. You're going to have the bull markets, the bear markets, but it's going to matter if I stick around. It's going to matter if I actually show up, if I actually push them out weekly, if I actually sit down with people that also want to be in this space. And that's the whole point of this podcast, is to not only learn myself about more individuals, but help others learn. Like hopefully someone listens to this and they learn who Mike Mongo is, or someone listens to another episode and they learn who that is, or they learn who Gabriel is from this episode. That's what I hope to get from all of this and all of your positivity. I'm glad that we were able to get what you just said, because all of your positivity, like I said earlier, you're in your 50s. You could have had so many excuses on why you are not into NFTs, why you're not into the culture. What drives you, and who is your inspiration to do all of this? Do you take that inspiration from your parents? Is it something that you've just got over life? I really want to know, because I truly admire and applaud you for being where you are in your life. You've, like you said, spaces where I wanted to go, I went there. I'm going to go there. Like there is no ceilings for Mike Mongo. If it's something that you can achieve, you're showing us that, get out there and do it. It can be done. So, and that's how I feel with the podcast. That makes me want to keep going with the podcast. I feel like I can keep going. So why not do it? Who's stopping me besides me? So I want to know, how did you just get all of that inspiration, man?
I have to say that I don't know how the phenomenon of life is for other people, Sniper. I can't say that just because I get to do it doesn't mean that everybody gets to do it. I can't say that. I can only model doing it. How we make it happen and get that fire going inside us is on us. And so somebody makes, like I said, some people can't, just my energy wears them down. Like it's just a thing. I get it. And other people, and by the grace of good, other people are absolutely ignited by what I'm saying and what is possible. I had a mom who I love dearly, and she's absolutely out of her mind. She passed away several years ago, and my very first thought was, thank God her suffering is over. And nonetheless, she poured creativity and writing and art into me. And she let me read comic books, and she let me read science fiction. She let me read books. She made sure that I read. She put me in art classes. She supported me in so many ways. And, I used to say that if you clean somebody's house, but you take a poop in the middle of the kitchen, they're going to remember that poop. This is fact. This is real. Like, you clean someone's house, it's amazing. You do amazing. You redesign it even. You bring all kinds of new furniture in. You like new TV, but you take a crap right in the middle of the kitchen. We're going to remember that. And I used to say, like, it undoes all the good that you did. I used to say that. And then I looked at, like, my mom, right? Like, she it was a struggle for her. You ever seen that meme on Reddit where it's like some parent being really rough on a kid, just terrible, bringing them down, and the next parent being rough and doing the same thing, but not at the same level, just slightly different, and the next parent being you, and all of those barbs and arrows landing on your back, and in front of you is your kid. And no matter what, I know what my mom put on me, and I know what my grandfather put on my mom, but I came here to take these arrows so that I can raise my son, Raphael, like the God he is. And the same thing is true of you, like the people I hold high. Just because we just met doesn't mean I don't love you. I love you. Facts. Like I see you and I receive.
Yeah,
I see you and I celebrate
I appreciate
you.
that.
And that's how I am with people. People don't need to receive that. I just offer it. And I get to be the person I needed in my life when I was my 11-year-old son. And I know who that is. Because when I was 11, I called for me in the future. No lie. I looked forward and I said to me in the future, where are you? I need you here now. And that was like a beacon. Whoop, 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 through time and space. And in that voice in my head, in my heart, in my soul, in every part, every now that I've experienced, and that drove me to be who I am. When in the Avengers, Bruce Banner is with Captain America and that giant alien spaceship's coming around the corner and Captain America says to Bruce Banner, don't you need to get angry? And Bruce Banner says, as we all know, that's my secret, Captain. I'm always angry. I've been that man. I've been that person. I've been that person. And you know what? You want some real strength? Be vulnerable. Wow. That's where the real thing is. And I learned a while ago, if I'm having a serious discussion with somebody and somebody thinks I'm wrong, but they can't hear me, and then they punch me in the face, and I continue to have an intelligent conversation with them, they wilt. I learned that. And my saying is not that what doesn't kill us makes us stronger. My saying is what doesn't kill us makes us less pretty. And my son is beautiful. And I would say to his mom, look how pretty he is. And she said, he's not pretty, he's handsome. I was like, that 7-year-old right there, that boy is pretty. I'm so proud of him, his prettiness. And now he's 11, now he's handsome. Now he's got handsome. Now he's got it. The other day, he had to put on some clothes that he didn't want to wear, and he put on a face for his mom. And it was a don't cross this line face. And I got to have a conversation with him. Not to tell him, don't make that face. Because that face says, push me. I dare you. And I told him, if I saw that face, I'd push you. I push you because I love you. And I push you because somebody else will push you seeing that face and they don't love you. And you might come to harm's way. And I can't have that because I love you too dearly. So you don't know this, I explained to him, but how powerful your emotions are right now. They make anything how you look more than what it used to be. How you used to feel like upset or aggravated. Now you got a different power with it. And so when you do that, it affects people differently. And I got to explain it to him. I was like, you can still feel that way. Just bring it down on your face. You don't need to have that face. His mom said he's got an angry black man face. I said, that's not an angry black man. Let's not put that on him. He's not that. He just doesn't know his own power. That's all. And as a powerful person, I got to share it with him. I got to explain that to him and model it because that's who I needed when I was him. I got an 11-year-old from my past making a signal through time and space. Wham, wham, wham. Looking forward in the future. Who's that little prescient 11-year-old that I was? Looking forward into the future, looking to find me, Sniper. And me here in the future becoming who he needs. I am that. Oh, pal. You can be too.
Yo, I respect that I respect that so much just because that's literally what you did to me at the beginning of the conversation. You pushed me, you did that because
Hold you
like
high.
you said, you got love for me, and that
Hold
even
you
though
high.
we just met, you could still have love for someone. Hold them at a high standard. You told me, you was like, yo, man, I know
Let's
you can
do
have a
this.
genuine conversation. You don't have to just read off of what you found, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I was like, you know what? I'm not scared. He's right. I could easily hold a genuine conversation and do what I want to do. And I think throughout this whole thing, people will be able to listen to it and be like, damn, I really did learn something. And he didn't have to read off no script. He didn't have to read no IMDb about who Mike Mongo is. But I do want to talk about one thing before we go into the 5 questions.
Lean into the discomfort, Sniper.
And that's what I do, man. And that's what I'm doing.
You did it.
As soon as you said that, I was like, you know what? All right, we could do that.
Immediately went to it.
We could do that.
Props.
Thank you so much.
Respect.
And I do want to say thank you so much also for the kind words, especially coming from someone like yourself. I greatly respect it and respect you. Now let's talk about these crazy famous glasses, man. I'm so in love with them. And for those that don't know, you should know, Mike Mongo is famous for these signature glasses, and they're basically...
I'm famous for more than... Hey, Sniper, I'm famous for more than that.
Oh, absolutely.
That's just one of the things. All right.
Absolutely. We could go on a list. I can't even read off. I tried to write down, and I was like, oh, good Lord.
No.
But yeah, let's talk about these glasses, man. You got multiple colors. You got prescription. You got the readers. What's up with them? When did this start?
Readers and cheaters. It was by accident. I actually had a pair of readers that were pinching my ear, and when I was getting interviewed almost a decade ago, and I just flipped them, and we were using something called Skype, which nobody uses anymore, and it was like pre-Zoom, and I couldn't. It had a little picture of me and a big picture of them, and I didn't even notice that my glasses were like this, and I think they were from Germany, and then they looked at me kind of funny, but I just thought it was cultural, and then I got off the call, the interview call, the Zoom call, whatever, Skype, and then I was walking around my office, and then I saw, oh my God. It's like talking to somebody, having a great time, great interview. You think you got game and everything, and then go past a mirror, and there is a piece of spinach the size of a nickel in your teeth. And you thought you had game. So there I am, laughing at myself. And right then, I was married at the time, and I'm an openly bisexual person, and I was married to a person who is openly Pentecostal, and so we decided to go different ways. We still love each other very much. She's amazing, and nonetheless, I am full on. And who you see right now is who I am at 6 o'clock in the morning, and that can be a lot. And so I have my glasses like that, and she, right when I noticed I'm laughing at it, she walked in. And I said, oh, you're not going to believe this. I just did an interview. My glasses were like this the entire time. And her face went like this. And I said, oh, my God. Is that funny? Oh, God. And the next day I went and had it made. And she tells people to this day, Sniper, she said, if I only had laughed at his foolishness, if I had just laughed at his foolishness. And so that's how that. And then, when I went to my optometrist, it was an optometrist I'd used since I was a kid. He's in Key West, and he's retired now. And his son has taken over the practice and makes my glasses. And my optometrist at the time said, why?
Oh, wow.
And I said, I'm in front of people all the time for a very short period of time, and getting their attention is significant because I have something important to share. He said, okay. And then he made it for me. And it was funny. He's like, okay. And then that was that. And here we are. We tried all kinds of different models. I've got a little mark on my nose right here. If I have it carved out right here, it slides right off. But when I just leave it regular, it stays. And then I got all of this space up here to see the world. And I think I actually have an advantage over most people with glasses shaped this way. You know what's going to happen is that people are going to figure it out, and then all of a sudden we're going to see this style all over the place. And you'll be like, no, it was Mike Mongo who came up with that.
Wow. I mean, whenever I first saw you in this space, it's the first thing I saw. I was like, these are the most unique glasses. And I was like, and how the hell do they stay on his head? These things are upside down. And then I realized they're custom. And I was like, this dude's brilliant. It's the most brilliant IP move I've ever seen. And no one can say, oh, no, I was doing that before him. Show me some proof and I'll believe that.
I receive.
But no, Mike, before I jump over to the 5 questions.
Here we go.
The 5 questions are the only thing that I do have to read off. But before we jump over there, I want to say thank you so much for giving not only all the listeners a lot of knowledge. I feel like you've given me a lot of knowledge. There's someone, like I said, not only in NFTs, but in the real world that I genuinely look up to. I can take what they say and it really means the world to me. So whenever you compliment me, you say anything like that, I truly hold it up there, just like how you hold me up there. So thank you so much. But is there anyone that you would like to thank just in general, life, NFTs?
Look, there's this young kid that I've never met. His name is Nefarious. He's got a project called Top Dog Crew. He and I have been talking about maybe like at least half a year. This guy just it's funny because he reached out to me. I don't know why, how, whatever. And I have my DMs open and I go through them every so often. And then I saw this one and he had just sent an emoji of a dog emoji. That was what he sent to me. And I was like, what is this guy saying? I looked at his profile, and then you know what? It's funny. He had this little doggy artwork of a dog standing up and it says top TOP on a zip down pulley and his hands are in his pocket, his paws or whatever, and then he's got pants on, slacks, and it's very, very simple, very cool, but there's emotion to it. Like it's just a thing. And I was like, okay, so I wonder if he did this art. That's I wonder if he did this art voice. And I wonder if he did this art. And it turned out he did the art. And I messaged him. What's up? Like, what's with the dog emoji? What's the story? And then he said, I'm just trying to get your attention. Damn. All right, boldness. I don't know a thing about him at this point, just so you know. I don't know anything except he's got this one piece of art pinned in his profile. And we begin to have a conversation. And this young Titan turns out to be in New York and a college student, young, 19, and skeptical and uncertain. But look at this. He didn't know what to make of this conversation he's having with me, all of that, and just wasn't inclined to believe. But this young boldness took a chance and sent a dog emoji. Like I got to remind him, look, you opened up this conversation, young Titan, and we just began to have a conversation. And at some point, I was at NFT LA. I get on he's in a bad space. He was just in a bad space because that happens when we're 19. Facts. I don't have to tell you anything. It happens when we're in our 20s for sure. It just happens. It's
no,
cool.
Sir.
And just having the support to get through it. And so then he was questioning like my relationship to him and his relationship to me, and like why me now this conversation. Do I really believe in his art, etc. All this stuff that we tell ourselves. But you know what? I was in the car. We were, like I said, we were at NFT LA with my buddy D Love, who was just a great friend of mine. And then he's like, let me talk to this guy, because I got him on speaker. I told him, I was like, I got you on speaker. And he goes, I can't even believe what this cat's saying. That he doesn't know you. And like you've invested your time and your energy into him for no reason except that you believe in him. And like I was him. That sentence, I was you, Sniper. I was like, I can meet a 7-year-old girl and say, I was you when I was you. And I say that so that I can honor whatever they're going through, whatever person is going through. When I was you. And I don't care if a person is what skin color, what economic class, what height, what weight, what level of ability, none of that. We're all human beings here. When I was a perfect crap, when I was mean, when I was unkind, yeah, I got that to my belt as well. When I was learning, when I did the work, yep, got that too. And I get to acknowledge that. And my buddy picked up he's like, hey, this is a D11. You don't know me, but this guy right here, He believes in you. And I do. And that was a transformative conversation. That was taking a stand. That was holding Nefarious high, right? And we became, after that moment, we became like, he got it. Like, I support him in his success and his vision. So he doesn't, he's still 19. He hasn't turned 20 yet, to the best of my knowledge. And I'll give my shout out to him because we never know when we're talking to the next most important person in the entire world. Here's a simple thing. I told him this. You want to this is how you can talk with anybody. Like, I'm 57. I'm talking with a 19-year-old, talking with a 7-year-old, here it is. Don't be a creep. Don't be a creep. I tell kids all the time in classrooms, students, if you're a supervillain, be the best supervillain you can be. Because I'm a superhero. And you might take me down. You might take me out. But there's other superheroes coming behind me. They're going to carry the torch. They're going to do the thing. And it can go on and on like that. Or you can be the best version of yourself and figure out another way forward. We've already done the bad times. Let's do fantastic, amazing, awesome. Let's imagine a world where everything works out for everyone all the time without harm to anyone. Sniper. Let's imagine a world where everything works out all the time for everyone without harm to anyone. Let's just entertain the idea of that, for gosh sakes. I understand what impossible is. It's impossible to levitate. Does that mean it's not going to happen? Not for me to say. My 11-year-old tells me that I talked to him about levitation on the phone, and he tells me, I levitate. Oh, I said. He says, yeah, I did it for 30 seconds today with my buddies. We got it on video. And all I can think is, dang, I believe it. Who am I to say no? If we're going to evolve, let's push it. Let's reach higher. I don't want to run 5 seconds faster. I want to be able to connect with you and communicate love by thinking it. I want to pass on the experience of my mom to you so you understand just by thinking it. I want to look over here at this fidget spinner that I got right here and just have it roll around in the air and have it spin while I'm working out other ideas. That's evolution. That's what's on. Nothing less than that is acceptable to me. Let's get to that place. We levitate, for instance. We don't have to use cars anymore. Then we don't have to use oil and gas. I don't care. Come up with some idea that is equally as far-fetched and see if I can rally behind it. That's the game. When people tell me that an NFT collection has 10,000 pieces, I said, who said so? You say so. You make the rules. I make the rules. I should know, so you make the rules. So my time here today is I get to have it be an acknowledgement of Nefarious. Pow. I'm ready for your 5 questions.
I like that, man. And big respect to him, and I'm wishing him nothing but the best. This has all been
Top Dog Crew, TDC.
Yeah, I feel like this has all been a big learning moment for not only myself, but anyone that really gets to listen in on this. And I appreciate you teaching us that, man. You're not only teaching astronauts, you're teaching young men like me, and not even just young men, older gentlemen. It don't matter the age. Like you said, don't matter the age, color, none of that.
Folks, not just male.
Yeah, no, yeah, everyone. Men, women, does not matter.
All of us.
Everyone,
People,
every
folks.
human. Yeah, every human on this planet. I feel like they can definitely take something from at least one part of this podcast episode and apply it to life, man. You definitely make me want to keep going harder. Even being sick right now, I'm like, yo, who's to stop me? Who's to say that I only have to do 1 episode a week? I can do 5 episodes a week. I could do 1 every 2 weeks. I make those rules. But we're jumping into the 5. So with number 1, I know these are going to be great. Number 1 is the 5. What is the most important thing to you in your life? Might be a little tough.
I mean, like, my first thought, of course, is love. Like, that's the most important thing. And then you say something like that, and people think that that's vague or you're just showing off. And I mean, so like I'll go with this: doing the work. I didn't get here. Like I said, I've done, when I was you, these things, like, so I know criminals, and when I can say when I was them, when I made mistakes, when I was that. And so doing the work so that I get to this place. If we don't feel love, do the work to figure out how to feel loved. And it starts at home. So for me, feeling loved was realizing that hungry place inside of us, just like it's just wanting love, that I can take the experience of love, the feeling of love that I know, because I know it, because I went out and sought it out. So I have it as a vocabulary, as a concept, a vocabulary concept inside my own inner life. And I take that understanding and that feeling and that memory of love, and I just blast it into that place that needs love. I take my understanding of love, I let go of the memory, what brings it to me, and I give it to that hungry place. And that's what, when people told me all of those years, love myself, they never explained that to me, Sniper. That I take the memory of love and I let go of the memory, but I hold on to the feeling, and I just move that feeling right to the place that is just love starved. And I radiate like a sun into that black hole. So love.
I like that answer, man. And the fact that you said, I've never even thought about it that way, just forgetting the memory that gave you that love and just applying that to the love. I mean, I should start. There's a lot of things I'm going to be taking from this podcast that I will be applying to myself.
It's a practice.
Yes, absolutely. I feel like this will be a good one too. What is an obstacle that you have overcome that has helped you get to where you are today, whether it be NFTs, the real world, at any age? What would you say?
Sniper, how old are you?
I'm 26.
26. That's one of my favorite numbers. I remember you said it earlier. 26. All right. So let's see. Because I was bisexual as a like since I got here, I didn't have any relationships at all, like personal relationships, until I was in my 30s because of when I was born. So when I was 13, 14, and I'm looking at careers and knowing that I'm bisexual, knowing that, and realizing, so there was no bisexual, there was no gay, there was no lesbian when I was a kid. There was regular and pervert. That's it. And people get to know that. And so I knew I was a pervert because that's how I was defined by the world. And knowing that is like, no matter how kind and cool and loving I am, I don't get to be a teacher. At 14, I knew I could not be a teacher. By 14, earlier than that. Nope. I'm attracted to my same gender. Can't be a teacher. And then I was in college and people were like, oh, you'd be an amazing teacher. This woman, Patricia Canley, who became like my other mom. She's at 21, I was like, okay, I'm going to be a rock star. Follow me in where you're thinking you were first. I'm going to be a rock star. And then she said, I see you as a teacher. And I said, what? I'm not a teacher. I'm a rock star. 21. But inside I knew, oh, I can't be a teacher. Nope, that's not on the table. Because I'm a criminal. Because at 21, when I grew up, that was criminal offense. And that was like, there was plenty of people for whom that was a death sentence that I know. Plenty. 57. And so here we are in the future, and I support it. Like I was coming on a plane, I was coming home on a plane 2 nights ago, and sitting next to me are two young guys just sitting there holding each other's hands like it's nothing. And here I am. I'm like, oh my God, what? How's that even like, that's so awesome. Like the future is awesome. Love who you love. Gosh, for reals. Like imagine being somewhere and just being hung up like, oh my gosh, girls are changing the boys. Boys are changing the girls. No. Like what? Really? Like maybe you don't have enough to do. Really? And I mean, I've had straight up enemies be helpful and kind. That's how that works. People will look out for us in the hard times. Look for the helpers, Mr. Rogers said. And so one of the obstacles that I had growing up was just who I am. And it wasn't, I was in the way of myself. Like that famous, like that thing that people say, when did you choose to be straight? That whole thing. Facts. Like, well, whatever. Trust yourself. And nobody here knows any more than you. No person here knows any more than you. I got it right here, but I'm on board. It's like there's nobody here that knows. It's the same. I don't know what's going on. You don't know what's going on. We all are winging it. So if you find somebody that loves you as much as you love them, high five you.
That's right. I mean,
facts.
I have nothing but the utmost respect for that, because not everyone is, like you said earlier, vulnerability. Not everyone will share that. Not everyone will come on here and say, oh, yeah, that was, because that's a pretty big question. And I felt I fought with it a couple of times. Like, maybe I shouldn't put that on there. Maybe not everyone wants to be so open, but I totally respect you for the fact that you were like, this is something that I've overcome. I've made it me. I'm blessed to be where I am. And I have nothing but
it was an obstacle the world put in front of me, man.
Absolutely.
It wasn't my obstacle to overcome. The world put it there.
Absolutely.
And here we are in the future. In 2009, there was a thing called some march on Washington, National Equality March. That's what it was. And I went there with this man, Tom Luna, and he's gay and he's from Key West and he's a legend. And we're getting there and he's just watching people. Lady Gaga's on stage and he's just crying. He's like, he's in his 70s now. And I'm like, what's going on, man? I'm like, whoa, what's happening? And he goes, like, I had to fight to stay alive. And these kids are fighting to be in the military. Like, it's like a different level. It's just like, it's working. And that's how it showed up for him. And I was like, whoa, that's like, all along the way, the people that took a blow and stood up. You know what? There's people that have been gay and LGBT, trans, and everything all along the way throughout all human history and took a stand. I was just in Paris and I went to see the grave of Oscar Wilde. People don't know about Oscar Wilde. Oscar Wilde got in people's faces, like, I'm gay, at a time when, like, they were doing terrible things to people, no matter how talented and gifted. The person who invented computers. My brain is post-COVID. I had it last September. I still haven't caught up. 1 second. The Turing test. Alan Turing, gay. Alan Turing, gay. Listen to this. You probably, there's a movie with the guy that played Sherlock in the TV series Sherlock from BBC. Forgot his name. And Alan Turing solved the code, the Enigma code, that would have put the world underwater for World War II. If he hadn't broke that code, if he had not created the Enigma machine to break the code, then we would all be Nazis right now, and half the world would not be here. We'd be dead. And he solved that. He did. And he put it down for the cause. He saved the world. So then after the war, there was a guy, like, because everybody, like, it was all clandestine and everything, have a relationship. So there was like a hustler that he had relationships with. And this guy was a bad dude. He got popped for, he wasn't a terrible person, whatever. People are people. He got popped for petty theft. And so instead of taking the rap for petty theft, he turned in Alan Turing. Said, I'll tell you what, you've dropped this charge and I'll snitch on Alan Turing. And he did. So because of that, we collected Alan Turing, charged him with crimes like indecent everything, and gave him a choice. You can go to prison, or because you saved the world, here's your choice. We're going to give you a choice for being kind. You can go to prison, or you can live in this private one-floor thing and be chemically castrated, which means having estrogen treatments and resulted in him growing lactating breasts as a person who identifies as a man. And it was too much. And my man collected a apple, man, and put cyanide in it.
It's crazy.
Took a bite of it and died. Committed suicide. Alan Turing.
Apple logo with the bite taken out of it.
So So like, we're all here because of people like that, but I just want to blow your mind a little.
That is a mind blowing fact. The Apple logo has a bite taken out of it. Come on now.
Just so you know.
It's right there. It's right there.
Just so you know, the person who invented computers, Alan Turing, is not a joke. We're all here because of this person, and some of us know it, and we don't forget the history or the story. And so that's why I champion people. I wouldn't be here today. Like, some of us didn't make it. And we got these battles today. You know what battle you got, Sniper? We're at climate. We're not at climate crisis, my man. We're at climate cataclysm. If this was a storm, this would be a category 6 hurricane, which we never even had. It's just an idea. But we theorize that category 6 hurricanes are possible now because of climate cataclysm. We need to stop saying climate change and climate crisis. Anybody who can read science, and that includes me, can see that this is a climate cataclysm. It's got a momentum. So you are going to be in the future telling people this story from your viewpoint, because people are dying right now because of climate. And this is your challenge. It's your world. I'm calling from the future. I live here. Like, I imagine for real, I imagine the future when I was you, and here I am at it. So you're at the present, and you're imagining the future. How you want it to be? Do you want it a world without ice, without the Antarctic, without the Arctic, without icebergs, without most of the animals on the planet? Because if you don't, the time is now. When I'm looking forward into the future to see what my 67 and my 77-year-old self needs from me, if I don't do it now, I undermine them. I'm 57, so I get to go do health checkups and do those important things so that I don't undermine my 67 or 77-year-old self. I got to check my cholesterol. Because this is the only time I can do that. That 67 and 57-year-old self, they're looking at me right now, this conversation, and cheering me. Yes, Mike, that's the thing. Do that thing. In the same way that I cheer the 14-year-old that chose computer class over typing. Like, yeah, you're succeeding right now and everything, like with this show and having these conversations. Holy smokes, my man, the planet is like, it is. This is we're living in an inferno. We're underwater. The air is gone. These are all of the things. And you have the authority. I want you to know you got the authority to tell them to stop and do it a different way. The way that you had isn't working. Billionaires as a model doesn't work. I'm not worried about people who are billionaires. I love them. It's the role of billionaire that no longer serves us. We're in charge of that. We create society. We just say, no, it's not working anymore. Gandhi said, first they ignore you, then they laugh at you, then they fight you, then we win. First they ignore us, then they laugh at us, then they fight us, then we win.
I like that. I like that saying a lot. Gandhi. Man, I feel like transitioning into my third question won't even be as good, but Mike, I mean, damn, that's just knowledge. I'm still blown away with the apple. Like I'm still blown away with so many different things from. It's hard to keep up. This is an amazing episode.
Steve Jobs on the record says no, it was not that, and that his friends like, yeah, it's that.
I mean, it's there. I mean,
it's right there. It's love.
Okay. When Mike Mongo leaves out to go out, what are at least 3 necessities that he has to bring with him? And we're not talking about like just wallet, keys. I know one of them's got to be the glasses. Always got to be the glasses. But can we get 1 or 2 other things that you always got to have with you, if there's anything?
If I'm going out as me, like you want to see a disguise, here, watch this. Here, I'll show you a disguise. Pow. Nobody sees me now.
Man. No glasses? Oh, damn.
Like, I'm invisible. You want to see a real disguise? Check this out.
Some regular glasses. Oh my goodness. I've never
Nobody sees me.
Oh my, yeah. You're just a normal person.
So if I'm on the inside, and then if I'm going out as me, then I'm going to carry a friend with me.
I like that.
Yeah, I like to go out as a team, as a squad. Give me a squad of two. When two or more are gathered in my name, I am in their midst. Whatever that means, I love it. When we're in agreement, when we're running around and having a great time, I don't care what kind of stuff is happening. Like if I got one other person that's like about it, then we have a terrific experience.
I like that, man. I like that. And I can say I've never had anyone answer it with someone else. I've never had that, but it's beautiful because, I mean, I don't care if I'm outside picking grass. If I'm with the right person, it's fun. Like we don't have to be spending, we don't have to be spending thousands of dollars at the club, buying tons of drinks. We could be outside counting sticks as long as I'm talking with the right person in the midst of someone great.
Well, look,
yeah, don't matter.
That's the facts. That is just the truth. What you just said, 100%. We could be doing anything as long as we're into the success or the style or the flavor, the status of being of that other person. Then it's a win. I love that.
It's a win every time.
The third thing is I always bring a drawing pen. It's just how I am. So if sometimes I'm having a conversation, if I just draw while I'm talking, it makes it simpler because, it allows me to be present.
I like that. Okay. Well, damn. That was a good one.
1, 2, 3.
I got a 1 of 1 answer right there because I've never heard it. 4, and this is gonna be a great one.
4.
What is one thing you want to do before you get too old? Because you ain't even close to old. You don't
know. Sniper, you don't know.
You ain't
57
close.
Is real time, yo. You don't know.
Nah, man.
Call and tell me when you get here.
I got you.
All right.
You'll still be here. You'll still be here, so I will call.
Before I get too old. Oh, my Google. Oh, whatever that is. Holy smokes. Jiminy Cricket. I don't know. Like, I love how Steve Irwin did it. He died doing what he loved doing. So people are like, "Are you afraid of going to space? Like, what if it explodes?" I'm like, "It'll explode when I'm going to space." Oh, wow. Okay, I'm in. Like, I want to come back. But do what you love, and if you love if you die while you're doing what you love, then that's that. You won. And so then before, ask the question one more time, Sniper. Let me see what I can pull out.
What is one thing that you want to do before you get too old?
Too old? Dang! That was a puncher.
Yes, sir.
Whoosh. Oh, too old. What is that? Sir, this is a tough one.
And I guess we can classify too old as passing.
Oh, before I die?
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay. I want to go to the moon.
Go to the moon.
Oh yeah, I want to visit the moon. I want to see the Earth from the moon.
So you want to go or you will go?
I'm going to the moon.
That's right.
Like, you have to kill me to stop me from going to the moon.
That's right. Okay.
I know you know.
Man, that's what I'm saying. That's why whenever you said I want to, I was like, I think it's more of a I will go. You said
to the moon. What do you want to do before you pass? I said,
that's what you want. Okay.
What's one thing that I'm going to do? Like, rephrase the question. I'm there for you too.
Yes, sir. Okay. The moon. And I think before it's all said and done, I will have seen and heard of Mike Mongo putting his foot on the moon. I just think that's something that's going to happen. Number 5, I really don't know if this is up your alley, but we'll tease it anyways. If I gave you 200 ETH and it had to be spent on NFTs and only NFTs, what are some big purchases and plays that you would make yourself? Don't have to be for flipping. Could just be investment.
Oh, no problem, man. For one, I'm buying. So I'm buying artists who I am close with and work with, like who are black. That's who I identify with anyway. So that's one of the things I'm going to spread around that wealth. So I'm going to buy art that I love by some artists that I love, that whose work, like I mentioned Tony Payne earlier. Dang, her photography, yo. And then hold on, I want to pull up some names. Like these are, I know who I would buy.
Absolutely.
Like I keep a list, and I think everybody should keep a. I think everybody should keep a list. Like when I get my money, that I buy the thing that I want. Oh, geez, listen to this. Here's a list. Okay. Ilda producer, Melnee, Melknee, Julian Gillum, Logic. Who doesn't love Logic? Wiley Styles. I love Wiley Styles' work. He's Afrofuturism, solid, like just beautiful stuff. Oh my gosh. Nyla is amazing. She's 14 and she just like, I love her. I got to talk with her when she was 13 at NFT NYC, and we got to spend 10 minutes together just being intelligent, sitting outside in the Wynwood walls, and we just had a moment we got to share together while everybody was having a conversation. Nyla, absolutely. Elise Swopes is one of those people that came out of, like, she's one of those people like me that kept on doing it, even though she's young, what she went through to get to where she is. And like, I think she just got her degree. She raps, she's amazing. Swopes. I buy Swopes. Ed Balloon, gotta have Ed Balloon's, his animation, the stop motion animation he does. Like, having characters who are black in stop motion animation makes a world of difference. This is the thing.
He does a really good job putting on for the BIPOC community. I do applaud Ed very much. He's a great person and great vibe. Amazing vegan guy in this space. You gotta love Ed.
Zoe Steckel. I love her purses, and she's like, now Zoe is, like, Zoe's on fire all the time. So but I love her work. Brittany Pierre would kill me if I didn't mention her name. Brittany, Redacted Pride, Brittany Pierre. And while we're at it, Manushka, Haitian chef Manushka. She put me in, like, when people call you up and say, I want you on this list so you get this project so you make dividends, that's family to me.
Absolutely.
Manushka probably made me at 10 to 20 ETH last year, just by calling me and saying, I've got you on this list. So, like, yeah, like that, like, you think I'm not supporting that? Believe me, I am. Believe me. 200 ETH, I'm spreading the wealth.
And that's
who I'm buying.
And that's how it's supposed to be, in the sense of always supporting your friends. There's been so many NFTs, and that's why I'm not the best flipper. There's been so many NFTs that, I've bought this because I've genuinely cared about that person. F. Dot is a huge artist in this space, not even in this space, just overall, that I greatly love and have support for, just for him being humble. And anytime I can pick up something, I don't ever pick up something with the intention of, I cannot wait to flip this down the road. It's like, wow, I really get to support this artist, this human, someone that I think is doing a positive thing, not only in the life, but in this space. So that's super sick. I like the people you named too. I know a lot of them. Brittany, great woman. Nyla is a very, very, very intelligent young woman. She works alongside Tom, and I love what they're doing over there. So big shout out to her.
My man, Keith Grossman. And yes, you know what? I want to say also, like, I'd sweep the floor on the Muttnicks, because that was my project. And that's how I buy those first ones off the floor all the time. I would do that. And then also I would pick up a owl and an alien and a whale and what was the other one? A pig of Gabe Weiss's. I would pick up one of those. At 200 ETH, I can handle this.
You got it all, man. You don't even leave change. Mike, dude, I can't even explain how much, not only fun, how much excitement. I mean, I was nervous at one point. You ran me through all the emotions, man. And I felt like at the end, I was able to give you a genuine conversation. So, I mean, we've ran through the 5 questions.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? We've talked about everything.
Thank you.
And I feel like there's so much that we could talk about. We're an hour and a half in. Hopefully, you blessed me enough to come down.
We did it.
Yeah, hopefully you come back down the road in a couple months and we can speak about more things, not only that you're doing, that you've done, just the history, man, the culture. I thank you from the bottom of my heart for even coming on here. Stick around after we're done just because I have to let this upload. But thank you seriously for everything, man. This is probably my longest episode and one of the most fun episodes. Yeah, it's hands down the longest, and it's one of the most fun because I didn't even go to the script. I rarely do anyways, but I learned a lot. You're giving me guidance, man, so thank you, brother. Thank you so much. Is there anything you'd like to say before we sign out?
I receive, Sniper. I look forward to seeing you in the future.
Absolutely, brother. Thank you from the bottom of my heart, and everyone tuning in. We will still be in action. I'm with NRN now, so we'll still be weekly. Hopefully we got more amazing guests, more amazing people in the space, and I will be seeing y'all soon. Peace out and nothing but love to everyone listening. Have a great day. See ya.